First at 6, new answers about the deadly shooting at the site of the controversial Atlanta Public Safety Training Center.
A forensics report that was just obtained by Atlanta News First reveals traces of gunshot residue were found on Manuel Teran's hands. The lab results from the Georgia Bureau of Investigations suggest Teran discharged a firearm or was in close proximity to a firearm when it discharged. The activist was shot by state troopers in January at the site that critics have dubbed Cop City.
The state patrol claims Teran fired first when he struck a trooper using this gun. The shooting was a catalyst for more backlash and protests over the future training facility. Atlanta News First Rachel Aragon live outside the training center site in Southeast Atlanta. Rachel, you spoke to a forensic expert today about this report.
Yeah, and he tells me one of the biggest takeaway from that report, looking at it, he says, is the amount of gunshot residue found on Teran's hand. And as we've laid out before, the entire time the state has claimed it's Teran who fired first at this planned site for the training center back in January. While this report does give some insight, there are still questions about the timeline of events. A new report from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Division of Forensic Sciences shedding light on the shooting that took place on the planned site of the Public Safety Training Center. Lab test results revealing protester Manuel Teran, who was shot and killed by Georgia state troopers, appeared to have gunshot residue on their hands, supporting the possibility that individual discharged a firearm.
So see, when it's on your hands, it's pretty definitive that you're the one firing the weapon.
Forensic consultant Chris Robinson says while gunshot residue can transfer, the amount of gunshot residue found on Teran's hands is telling.
When you fire a gun, then you get a significant amount on the back of your hand. So the 5 particles is a critical piece of evidence in this case.
Last week, the DeKalb County Medical Examiner's autopsy report said gunpowder residue was not seen on Teran's hands.
The fact that there was no gunshot residue, as much as I would love to stand here and say that's indicative that Manuel did not have a gun or did not fire a gun, that's just not what the science is.
Because the medical examiner can only do what they can do.
Robinson says the autopsy and the GBI report are not conflicting. The GBI report says gunshot residue testing is based off samples from Teran's hands and examined through advanced technology. As for the autopsy,
they're looking at the body. They don't have this specialized equipment.
Now, we reached out to the attorney for the family of Manuel Teran about this new GBI report indicating, of course, about the gunshot residue. So far, we are still waiting to hear back. As we reported last week, GBI has officially wrapped up its investigation. It's now in the hands of the district attorney of Habersham County. Live in DeKalb County, Rachel Aragon, Atlanta News First.